Yo, it's Captain with a Tears of the Kingdom Adventure Journal number 31, and I hope this will be interesting because I'm going to level with you. We did not get a lot done today. We did not. We might actually have a short video. I did find some clips. I think this is the first Adventure Journal or the Tears of the Kingdom kind of recap that I'm gonna, I've been doing little clips for. You get to see a little gameplay. I'm a little scared that I have so little to talk about that the clips are gonna go too long. I don't know. I really thought about it. I've been sitting here like, what did we even do today? It's one of those. I'll tell you what. It's one of those. Here, I don't get the mic in the right place. It probably sounds fine, but it's one of those where it's like we just beat the fire temple. Okay, we came back to town, right? And now we've saved the town. We've saved Goron City, and all of Goron City is back to normal, right? Well, what does that mean? That means that you have to talk to all the NPCs. I whacked the desk. You got to talk to all the NPCs and we already kind of talked to all the NPCs, but they were like, "I'm hooked on marbled rock roasts, and I can't talk about anything else." So now we have to kind of redo the town where everybody's saved, and now they're going to give us side quests. Now they're going to like tell us what they want and what to do and things in the area that I'm just knocking and everything. Things in the area that are interesting or whatnot. This is the hardest part of like, at least, I mean, it's technically an adventure game, which is a watered down version of an RPG, but this is the hardest part. This is the hardest part of RPGs for me. Is it just talking? Well, I guess there's other parts that are hard. This is one of the hardest parts. Just talking to so many NPCs. A town scares me more than anything else because the gameplay fundamentally shifts to just talking. And, finding an NPC and talking to them is an interesting experience. Going to a place where there's like 50 NPCs and talking to all of them sequentially is not that interesting. it's it's a harrowing experience, okay? So we talked to all the Gorbons, and they were pretty fun. I mean, I like the Gorons. They got cute faces. Dugby's. We got Dugby. He's cute. I like him. The little baby Gorons. They're cute. Uh, and they had like an old guy, an old couple of dudes who were talking about. They gave us a quest on, go take a picture where they were born, or their names. Trollcon. It was it was Volcon and I don't know. I just remember calling him Trollcon because it sounded funny. But they had like a thing where they were reminiscing about being young, but they couldn't, but they were forgetting stuff because they were old. That was funny. The big guy. Oh, we got a quest from the old chief in Yunobo. The heck was that quest? That's probably the important quest. Oh, it was to go check out the lizards. Okay, so mainly what we did in the town was collect side quests. That was the interesting part. We did check the shops and stuff, talked to everybody, did all that kind of thing. Not much had changed. I thought maybe the shops would be cheaper. They didn't. There's more like stalls. All the stalls were closed, but now you can buy ore for cheap and things like that. Not really much else did anything. Except now there was a bunch of side quests to get. So, you can now do the side quests to get the boulder breaker, which is way too expensive for anything it could possibly do. We got that quest to go take a picture of these old guys, birthing stone area, because apparently that's a Goron thing. We got a quest to, well, we remembered, I guess we technically already had this quest, to find Simmerstone Springs, which I had a little thing up so that I could remember the names of these. Now I blocked it. There it is. Yeah, Simmerstone Springs was the name of it. We had a quest. We had Dugby's quest, which was go find Gorondia, and it turns out not to be Gorondia because we went to Gorondia. It's Fire Temple, And then I don't know what else. What else? What other quests do we have? Yeah, the old chief and Yunobo gave us I can't remember his name either. Gave us a quest to go check out the lizards, the lizard lakes. He's like, I remember when I was young, we talked about the lizard lakes. And I was like, dude, there wasn't no lakes in Breath of the Wild because it was all lava. And then he says, then Death Mountain erupted and covered everything in lava. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, that's clever, that's clever. He's like, but now the lizard lakes are back, and you can go. There's a treasure there, so there's something to do that. But I'm kind of trying to do a straightforward playthrough, right? So I'm not really like, oh, let's go back to Death Mountain and re-explore it when I kind of already explored it a little bit on the way to the Fire Temple. It's similar to what we did in Rito Town, where it's like you have to do all this stuff in the mountains, and then you save Rito Town, and then you get a bunch of side quests to go do stuff in the mountains. And I'm just like, I just did that. To be fair, I am much more willing to go re-explore Death Mountain than I am the Hebra Mountains. Cause oh my god, the snow. I've spent so much of my life in the Hebra Mountains. It's too much. But Death Mountain is cool and different. It's very different than Breath of the Wild, and I don't know. We didn't explore as much. We kind of explored caves and we explored the depths really. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But still, I'm trying to make progress, and so I was like, all right, let me grab a couple of these side quests that seem like they're on the way, and we kind of planned our route. It's like, well, really, I need to get back to Lookout Landing to see what the next thing is. And there's a couple of quests that seem to be on the way. Like we got to stop at Woodland Stable because I got to turn in the picture. Every time I see a Goron in a hot spring, I've been taking a picture because I was like, I want to know which one I want to put on the wall in the Woodland Stable, and that's been a lot of fun. That guy had friends. The guy we had the lonely kid in the hot springs in Goron Town, and now he has his friends back because we saved the town. So that was cute. But I didn't write down if it was called Minecart Land. I think it's called Minecart Land. That was our first hint for Minecart Land. But we decided, all right, let's just grab these. It looks like we can get Dugby's quest because he rolls up to town and it seems to go out the way you want to. And then the Kima's quest, which was to find the Simmerstone Hot Springs. He tells you to go to the Goron. Was it just the Goron Hot Springs or the Goron City Hot Springs? It was definitely Goron something Hot Springs. But he says go there and you'll find a guy that's always there and he knows where it is. So that seemed to be on the way. So I was like, all right, we'll go talk to him. We'll go do this. And yeah, it worked out. So, so we ended up, I'll play a clip. I don't know how to work this clip in, but I want to play it because it's funny. So there you go. This is us working on the Dugby quest. We actually, he takes us on you have to take him on the minecart. We actually went on the minecart and then came back. But I thought it was funny, the little minecart ride. Because you go, and then you come back because it was way away. And I was like, oh, I wanted to go to the Goron Hot Springs. And I hope I didn't start this clip too early. You go to the Goron Hot Springs, I wanted to do Goron Hot Springs and then come down, but I didn't know where this was going to take me. OMG, when does this start? Get on the thing. Get on the thing. This is the funny part. Because the rocks are in the way, and you can't get them. So Yunobo's supposed to be on the carts, right? But we don't have the Yunobo spirit because we're in town. So I was like, well, I'll get rid of these rocks with the Yunobo spirit because that's clearly what you do, and he'll surely show up. And he did not. You see, Tulin appeared, so it did indeed work. Right? As soon as we got out of town, he's supposed to have appeared. I checked my thing. He's supposedly summoned. He was not there, so we had to resort to other methods, which work to some degree or another. There's nothing I could do. Anyways, you get on this, we ride this minecart, and it's like see where it went, and it goes down to the south mine, and that was way past. Like it's like up to the left. Which way is left? Up to the left side of the screen is a wall, but up there is where the hot springs were. So it kind of is like, oh, we're going past where I want to go. So I ended up riding the cart back and turning around and doing the hot springs, which was kind of interesting because you got to walk across the bridge, and you kind of got to walk out the back of Goron Village, and then it circles around, and you go through the statues, and we popped up and found a Korok there. And then, all right, that's enough of him. He's cute. He's cute, though. You walk through the statues, we found a Korok up there, which was pretty fun. And then it takes that circle, and then I had a really strong sense of nostalgia going across that bridge, and then you end up at the Goron Hot Springs. And I had a really strong sense of nostalgia because I was like, yo, I remember doing this in Breath of the Wild. And I often don't feel that in this game, which is, one of my main concerns with this game was that it was going to be too derivative of Breath of the Wild and not feel like unique and interesting and not feel like a sequel. I think I've been way over to this is why you have to get the mic in the right place. I haven't been centered. Sorry for everyone that bothers. But it was like, you go to the Goron Hot Springs, and it was different. There was a Goron there, and then there's that path that goes to Death Mountain. Like, if you keep following the path, you'll go to Death Mountain, and you'll have a little bridge there. And I actually went on that path, which is one of the reasons why we didn't get anything done, because I felt such nostalgia for this. I was like, I actually remember doing this from Breath of the Wild. That never happens. I very rarely remember the area from Breath of the Wild, because even though the terrain is the same, most of it's very different, and you're experiencing it something different. All the little setups are different, and also it's been 6 years. I think it's 6 years. It's been a long time. I played it when it came out. Well, a little after it came out, actually, but within the release window. I think I waited till the January or something. I got it for Christmas, and so I might have just forgotten some stuff. So this place made enough impression on me, climbing Death Mountain, that I remembered this area, and I was like, oh, this is the initial approach. You get to these hot springs, and then you go down this path, and then this is how you get to Death Mountain, because everywhere was lava, and so you couldn't go. So Death Mountain has in Tears of the Kingdom has felt pretty unfamiliar to me, in a good way, but because all the lava's dried up now, and so used to be just a whole unplayable area, but now it's pretty playable, and there's all sorts of stuff to do, and there's a bistro. so to see this area is really recognized. It's wow, I remember this, and it was kind of neat because, like I said, my concern was the game wouldn't feel enough like a sequel, and it has not had that problem to me. It's still very much a similar game. It's not like if you didn't like Breath of the Wild, this is going to make you like it now. It's just Breath of the Wild plus, as far as gameplay, mechanics, experience. But as far as is it really just the same thing with some extra stuff? No, it does feel different. It does feel like a sequel in my mind. It's kind of hard to explain because it is very similar, but not the same. It doesn't feel like a DLC. It feels like a new game, just in the same place. Maybe that's the way to think about it, because that's what people were worried about, since it was originally going to be a DLC. Does it just feel like that? And it doesn't feel like that, to me at least. So I don't know, I enjoyed going up the path. I enjoyed it until I found some annoying enemies, and they almost killed my horse, and then I was aggravated. And then I took forever mining some stuff, because Yunobo is really good at throwing him at rocks to mine stuff, which was nice. I've been missing that. Now I don't have to worry about my durability, and it's fun to chase down the ore as it flies around, because I remember doing that with bombs in Breath of the Wild all the time. I just always use bombs to mine things. And fish. It was the only fishing that was in the game, and I appreciated it, and I'm mad they got rid of it, because I miss fishing with bombs. You're supposed to have fish in every Zelda. Breath of the Wild technically had it in a really weird, real roundabout way. This one, I guess you just shoot him with arrows. I don't know. Maybe that's the fishing. I guess it's as much fishing as the bombs. So I guess I'm gonna say Batua had it. This one has it too. Anyways, we got on like an actual tangent of gameplay to do that, and then we came back and you get on the Goron up there tells you where Simmerstone Springs is, and it's like on the way down. It's instead if you go up to Death Mountain, you take a right, and then you kind of go down some canyons, things, some little indents, cracks, crags, probably crags, crevices in the mountain, and you follow it down, and you get to a big cave. Here, I'll play this. I think it's the appropriate time. I don't know how long this clip is, but I want you to see it, and I don't know how long the story is gonna last. So here, we did eventually find Simmerstone Springs, and Kima shows up. That's what this scene is. He's like, "Oh, you found it," but you go through the. So I was like, "All right, we go through these cracks and crags. You go to the right, and then there's the cave, just Simmerstone Springs." And it was kind of a fun segment because it's just like a long cave with a bunch of boulders and stuff. Like the problem was that it was blocked off. The big Goron says, "Oh, it's still there. We just can't get to it anymore." Because there was a rock slide and you can't get in. So you get to go in there, and now that we have Yunobo, he can just Goro through them all, and that was really fun just to blow through the rocks. And it reminded me of the time where I was in the Hyrule Castle secret tunnel that goes from Lookout Landing to Hyrule Castle. And I was like, dude, are you telling me I could have waited till I had Yunobo? I went through so many swords, just breaking all those rocks, swords and bombs and stuff, because it's a huge cave network with just breakable rocks everywhere. And we did the whole thing, and it was just, I kept running out of swords. There's like a whole talus and stuff down there. But it's really something. So I was like, we got to have the same experience, but with Yunobo this time, and it was way easier. I know my cam's blocking things. I use my cam to block the stream cam, so it's not weird. You don't have two cams on there. But the stream cam's like really, it's really small. It's just, I just crop it down to my face. So whatever. I thought it'd be weird. Actually, I can't make it small the way OBS works and switch between the scenes. But we got to blast through there, and we found the springs. As soon as you show up, Kima shows up, and he eventually gets naked and shares his eggs with you. So I wanted to commemorate the moment with a picture. And I'd forgotten you could hard boil eggs in the hot springs, so that was a lot of fun. I just started hard boiling eggs, and if I leave the clip play, that is what will happen. But I think I'm kind of out of the story, so we will not let the clip play. But it was fun, and then it's an actual cave, so you get to go on and deal with the bubble frog and stuff. So I mean, that was fun. So we got that quest completed, and that was a good time. And I enjoyed. Well, technically, we didn't complete Dugby's quest, right? Because we came back. So we actually were on our way there, and we hit the summer spring, and then we just had one little crevasse to go through to finish it off, which is my last clip and my last little funny section. I told you we didn't get a lot done today. All right, I'm reaching here. But this last little crevasse was just a Korok, which I had a good time with because it is, if you see, it's quite downhill that you have to take him down. And I don't know. People build cars and stuff. I don't have any cool cars yet, or want to spend the Zonite to make the few weak cars I have. So I figured he'd roll. He did. he did. He did. He just keeps rolling. I think I had to do this fight. So I did this fight real quick, and then he like finally stops rolling out in a corner or something, and I had to pull him out and roll him again. But he did. That's what I wanted to. I mean, you could see me do the fight, but that's what I wanted to show you. And he did. He keeps rolling. We were on 2 rolls, and he was all the way back with his friend. So it was It was a good time. Oh, I gotta get rid of this. It's distracting me. It was a good time and I enjoyed it. But that, and then that, and that pretty much down there, there's like a little jump over. And then you're right back where, in the South Mine, where Dugby takes you and wants to find Gorondia. And we were finally able to continue that. And you look there and you find out that those hints for Minecart Land in the Southern Mine and where Dugby's taking you are the same thing. He thinks the cool minecart land where he sees all the lights and the Gorons running around on minecarts is Gorondia. Um, and there's what was her name, Doma. She was like tailing him. She's the reporter trying to do a report on Gorondia. And I was like, why can't I just tell them about it? But she's there and she's like, I tailed this kid and I figured it was a bad lead because he's a little kid, but here I am, and I was right. That doesn't look like Gorondia at all. That looks like Minecart Land. And she's like, you know what? Maybe I'll make a travel guide to Goron Town, and I'll call it Doma's Travel Guide. It's like, you do that, Doma. But we didn't actually go into the Minecart Land. That's probably what we'll do the first thing next time. But it was fun to kind of, because when I hit this Southern Mine, I had another wave of nostalgia. I was like, oh my god, I remember this Southern Mine. I remember the Gorons sitting there, and that's where you catch some lizards, and they tell you about the armor, because it was like a big deal. And I was like, wow, this whole time, like, here I'm leaving Eldin, right? I'm leaving Death Mountain because we fixed it, we saved the area, and I'm finally, and now, right now, not any of the time we spent exploring it, which was a lot more. None of that time did I recognize anything from Breath of the Wild except the mountain itself. But now here we are kind of retracing our steps that originally got here in Breath Mountain, our first experience. Breath Mountain, whatever. Our first experience in Breath of the Wild. But we're doing it kind of like in reverse a little bit. So that was nice. That was a good feeling. But that's kind of where we left it in the Great Southern Mine, or the South, whatever it's called, the South Mine. I need to pull up a map to look up all these names. But right there you could see the cave and it's got all the lights, and you need the lava gear not to run around Death Mountain anymore, but in the caves it's too hot, so you still need the spaceman lava suit. So we've been getting used out of that, which is nice. Pop my jaw. And that's kind of what we would do. I had a little nostalgia with the Great Southern Mine, and then I was like, all right, Dugby's here. He's like, oh, I can see in there, and he thinks it's Gorondia, but it's clearly Minecart Land. But I was out of time, so I was like, well, we'll do Minecart Land next time. So the plan for next time, which should be tomorrow, which means the video should come out tomorrow. We'll see. It should be the next video. We'll find out. Who knows? Lord only knows what's gonna happen. But the plan for the next play session, the 32nd play session of Tears of the Kingdom, is to go into Minecart Land, finish up. I think we might have actually finished Dugby's quest by just getting there, but see what's in there. I think it's a mini game or something. Play the mini game, have some fun with it, and then you can kind of plan out on the map, like the next places to go. If we keep going down to the southeast, we will find the canyon where those old guys wanted us to take the picture, so we can do that quest. And then the Zora area towers, like really close to there, so there's like a road, you can see it come off, because I don't have the whole map done right, so you can see the road come out of Eldin and then go into blankness, and then like if you just make a curve, you get back to a road in Eldin that leads you back up to Woodland Stable. So because I need to go back to Woodland Stable, right? So I'm kind of hoping, like, all right, we'll go get that picture. I guess I'm gonna have to come back to Goron Town to show them the picture. I didn't think about that. Well, they might have to wait a little bit. And so I'm kind of hoping we'll get that picture, jump down, maybe like that road will take us to the tower, and then connect back up to Woodland Stable, right? And then we could turn in the Woodland Stable stuff, and then Woodland Stable, there's like a road that comes off that goes into the Deku Forest area, which I'm kind of hoping that road connects too. And I haven't taken that one, so we could like grab it and check it, and then come back down to Lookout Landing, where we can talk to Pura, and she can recommend the next area for us, because that's the way I'm doing this playthrough, just so it's not so meandering and doesn't take literally a decade, which I feel like if I played it the way I did Breath of the Wild, which was just explore everything and the story happens when it happens, I think it would take a decade. I really do, because there's like multiple layers to this map and everything, and there's a lot going on. And I played Breath of the Wild like every stream, so it kind of worked out. Breath of the Wild was the game that made us stop playing one stream game at a time, because it was months and it was the only game. And people are like, "Is there anything else?" I think I started Mario Monday when I did that, and then I just started doing something on Fridays, and then eventually it became just like, well, we just juggle multiple games. It eventually became like a different game on different days, so each day was like a special day for a different game. But I don't do that anymore now. I just juggle some games. Anyways, this is Captain Reminiscing, which means we've made it past past the topic of the adventure journal. I'm telling you, man, it's this game. This game is great, but there's a lot of like getting nowhere. There's a lot of not doing anything, and that's kind of the point of the game. It's fun to just adventure around. But when you're trying to be a little more streamlined in the story, sometimes it can be like, oh my god, I didn't get anything done. But we had fun along the way, so I guess that's the point. And hopefully, oh my god, I still managed to talk this long. Hopefully you had fun along the way of this video as well, because I have run out of Adventure Journal 31. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you enjoyed listening. Let me know if you like the clips. Today was rough because I was like, oh my god, what am I even going to show in a clip? Let me know if you like the clips or not. But that's all I have for you. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Whatever you're going to do, whatever you're going to eat, I hope it's fun. And I will catch you in the next one. And I'll see you around. Goodbye. I really should put the mouse on the stop so we don't have this awkward moment. But we had it, and I wanted to address it. See ya.